The problem is there's a lot of ambiguity in the law. And so it's unclear how something like a decentralized network is going to actually be accounted for. I want to also address the question about speculation as the primary use case. I think there are many other use cases that are emerging right now. This is what the entire Web3 movement is about, the idea that we could have a decentralized infrastructure and architecture for the internet and what that will unlock, the way you think about the engagement of data and data ownership using these kinds of tokens and these kinds of crypto governance systems is something that is being developed right now. The use case around digital identity, all those kinds of things are very distinct and separate from financial services, and they are also distinct from speculation on trading on tokens. So a lot of these things, again, I think are going to have to be litigated. We're in the United States, but we are seeing in other jurisdictions where there has been a more clear regulatory regime. I'm talking about Singapore. I'm talking about MiCA emerging in Europe. Even in Japan. There are places where the implosion of FTX in Japan had very little effect because there were rules about what to do and how to protect consumers. So my personal view on this is that we should be thinking about those who are engaging with this asset class, thinking about how to provide sufficient disclosure and notice for them to understand the risk they're taking and how that risk is relative to both other assets, but also how it differentiates from token to token. And without those kinds of disclosures and a clear path to that, I'm not really sure, how we're going to get a basis for either a litigation action that'll be successful by a regulator or really anything else like that in the United States.
So, Gordon, to you, is it a targeted regulatory conspiracy, or is this just adequate policing of egregious actors?
I mean, clearly there's egregious actors. I don't think my colleague here defended the fact that, Coinbase settled a washing allegation, and they settled the allegation with the CFTC. Clearly now Binance is being accused of wash trading amongst other illegal activities, FTX as well. There's a bunch of illegal actors. I think there needs to be policing here. I think it's right that they're coming in and doing this. And I just don't understand what the use case for crypto is beyond speculation. I will say this. The bull case in our view for crypto is you continue to have reckless monetary policy in the U.S., pushing, as we're seeing increasingly, governments away from the U.S. dollar, and that increases speculation in these, crypto assets. I do think there's a bull case for that. It's not something we would invest in personally, but I do think that's the bull case. But taking a step back and saying this is good for the retail investor, it's been horrific for the retail investor. And I think it's set to get worse with liquidity being drained now. I think that's the real reason why Bitcoin's falling. And with this SEC case, just to kind of ignore the allegations that the SEC is bringing, I would say do at your own risk. I think that's very risky. I think this case is very strong.